Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon on this Friday the 5th of August 2022. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm going to tell you what. You guys remember back, if you guys looked on long-term charts, or if you guys dealt in long-term things like projects into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, on this channel right here, if you're a long-term follower and you do charting analysis of the things that I've said in the past, well, I think that some people, if let's just put it this way, did rather well and kind of listening along into the things that I've said over the years. Now, this present period that we're in right now, this bear market, I forecast it way before anybody else out there. And I also put indicators into what I thought the bottoms would be and everything else. And an awful lot of Bitcoin and what the cryptocurrencies actually do has to do with human emotion. Not so much what's actually happening in the markets, not so much what's actually happening in the financial world, not so much by Bitcoin news of the day, the latest thing that's happening with Bitcoin or whatever, but it's actually determined by human emotion. And this whole bear market that we've been in, has been related to the actions that the Fed have been taking that I've been following as well. But it also surrounds human emotion regarding the cryptocurrencies. I knew ahead of time that we were going into a place where people would be cooling off how they felt about cryptocurrencies. Back when we were Bitcoin 68,000, I knew we were going to go through this process. This is a process. Well, what I'm telling you guys now is we're nearing the end of this process, where sentiment regarding the cryptocurrencies is about ready to change again. We're getting closer, or let's put it this way, we're getting close to that change happening. We might only be just a few months away from that change happening. And I also sense, in what I'm picking up off the markets, that what's coming is probably going to be the biggest, most powerful enthusiasm for cryptocurrencies that we've seen yet. And that enthusiasm is going to translate into the price heating up, and possibly the highest prices we've seen yet on cryptocurrencies when compared to the purchasing power of your fiat currencies. What I mean by that is fiat currencies constantly losing purchasing power. Right now we're at the dollar's losing about 17% per year of its purchasing power. So you can't compare dollars from 2020 to dollars from 2022. It would be over 30% difference in the purchasing power of those dollars from that 2-year period. And so you can't compare the two previous peaks in Bitcoin, which was 20,000 I should say respectively, to the 68,000 respectively for the last two peaks. You can't compare that in the purchasing power of the fiat currencies. Right? So the next high, basically what I'm saying is the next high is probably going to be considerably higher. And it's going to follow that same line of reasoning. So we saw 20,000 was the peak. Then we saw 68,000 was the peak. It's very likely the next peak is going to be, you could almost draw a bar graph between where this next peak is going to fall in line with the previous peaks. So probably in excess of $100,000 a coin. And you say you want to be out of that or into that? Because right now it's still near its bottom that it made when it went down under $20,000. It still hasn't really picked up too much yet, And so I guess basically what I'm telling you is right now is a buying opportunity has been set up. And the time is not in the future, the time is now, you know? And I've told you guys about these buying opportunities when they come along, you know? And I remember telling you guys, Litecoin used to be a bigger deal, you know? But I don't know what the price of Litecoin is right now. It's 170, something like that. Anyway, it's way higher than $3.75, obviously. And I was back telling you guys about that. You know, they're saying, hey, you know, it was one of my earliest things on my channel that I let you guys know about, and just said, hey, be aware of this. You know, you can buy Litecoin at $3.75. Well, there never was a buying opportunity again like that for Litecoin in particular, you know. But, you know, at the same time, I was talking about the other cryptocurrencies at the same time. And it seems like, too, that some of the... Stick with your big names in cryptocurrencies, is what I'm going to tell you. Your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, you know. Don't branch too far from the main root of which is Bitcoin is the main root of cryptos. Don't branch too far down on the list. I know there's thousands of them you can purchase way down the list, but some of those are just going to disappear, you know. Anyway, listen, guys, have a nice afternoon, and I think we're just about getting ready to see a sentiment change for cryptos, and we're just about getting toward the end of this bear market now, where it's long in the tooth, this bear market now at this point. The money printing is going to be endless by the central banks. And ultimately, in the end, they're going to destroy the fiat currencies. And, you know, there's only two places out. That's precious metals and cryptocurrencies. You're either in or you're not. You want to get stuck in this financial system and all these financial instruments and watch it all go to practically zero in its value, then that's your choice. You guys have a nice afternoon.